anybody, whether it is director or deputy director or faculty or student or
किसको भेजा?
staff, because we are in such a situation, and that's why when I go my home, it will be 2031. So I live in this bus, and it is my home. There is a bed inside, kitchen inside, washroom inside, library, office. There's a training room, and also there's a small garden inside. There are solar panels on the top, and that panels are enough to generate electricity. And I keep asking, there can only be two reasons why somebody will leave home for 11 years. One is a person has gone crazy. दिमाग का स्टूडेंट हो गया, IIT के प्रोफेसर का हो सकता है. And person left, or there can be a genuine reason. मुझे देख के आप लोगों को क्या लगता है? स्टूडेंट लगता है? नहीं लगता ना? There is a genuine reason, yes. This is a very interesting quote from Plato. It actually puts the context why we need to have lecture like this. Plato was a Greek philosopher. He said that every king should be a philosopher, or only philosopher should become a king. You know why? Because kings are very powerful, used to be very powerful. With their power, they could change the direction of life of people in their kingdom. And therefore, it is important that they become a philosopher. You know why? Because power without philosophy is very dangerous. And right now, we the modern humans are very powerful. With our science and technology, we can actually go to the moon, we can send our mission to the Mars, we can fly big machines, we can make buildings, big roads. So we are very powerful on this planet. But the unfortunate part is, we have lost the touch of philosophy. We have no idea why we are doing, what we are doing, how long we are doing. We are simply doing things. For example, you must be thinking that our country's GDP should increase, yes or no? Right? GDP should increase. Everybody wants. But does anybody know how much GDP should increase? 5%, 7%, 9%, 10%, 15%, 20%. How much? Nobody knows. Even if I ask this question to Prime Minister Modi ji, बताइए मोदी जी, देश का GDP कितना बढ़ना चाहिए? I don't think he has answer. Only thing he can say is ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा बढ़ना चाहिए, right? ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा कितना किसी को पता नहीं. अच्छा कब तक बढ़ना चाहिए? How long GDP should increase? 10 more years is good enough for the country? 20 more years, 30 more years, 50 more? How many years? No idea. Longer the better. That's the only thing we know. So not knowing how much to grow and how long to grow is like driving a vehicle without any brakes. Isn't it? And if anybody drives a vehicle without any brakes, what happens? Accident. So ऐसा लगता है modern humans are already met an accident or soon going to meet an accident. We have no idea how much to do and how long to do. That is exactly the problem, and what I want to bring you this 6 point. If you can understand today, climate change means what has changed, why it has changed, who has changed it, when are we going to correct it, how to correct it, and what an individual can do. If you can understand this 6 point, my yatra will be successful. Are you all ready? Yes. All right. Let's begin with the point number 1. What has changed? Climate change means what? Well, our nature used to be so beautiful, something like this, and it is very difficult to find these pictures anymore, isn't it? Everywhere on the planet we don't have this. So this has already changed. The floods have changed. No? It's not that our weather system that used to be a normal 1,000 years back, 500 years back, now it has changed. There are erratic weather systems, for example, floods. Have you heard of floods in Chennai, floods in Bangalore, floods in Assam, floods in Australia, China, Japan, Western Europe, Brazil, even Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is a desert country. Even in the desert country, there are floods. The problem is, 1,000 years ago also there were floods. So the problem is the floods intensity and frequencies increases. In the decade of 1970 to 79, there used to be 313 floods, extreme floods. Now that number has increased to 1,390 deep floods. 5 times more, 500% more floods are taking place right now. So weather system has changed. And today morning itself, yesterday night and today morning, look what is happening. This is not Mumbai. I lived here for 20 years. This is not what it used to be. Forest fires. Have you heard of Amazon forest fire? Australian forest fire, California, Greece, Italy, Turkey, Russia, everywhere, UK recently. Huge amount of forest fire. number has increased by 5 times, 500%. Ice is melting at the North Pole and South Pole. I'm sure this picture is known to many people. Every now and then similar pictures are appearing on the newspaper. That is melting. And where the ice water is going? It's going to the ocean. And as a result of that, ocean levels are increasing. This picture is taken by myself. Once I went to a place called Sadhaya villages in Odisha. You see the coastal area here? This coast used to be 2.5 kilometers away from this place. But because of the sea level increase, the sea water came coming in, and now you see the village, the temple of the village is under the sand, and the hand pump of the village is under sand. Hand pump is not 500 years old technology, right? 30 years old, 50 years. So what is happening right in front of our eyes? Sea levels are rising, and it is resulting in affecting many people. In Bangladesh alone, every single year, more than 10 lakh people have to flee from their homes and fields. Why? Because sea water is getting in. So sea level is rising at the rate of 3.4 millimeter per year. So climate change means all this has changed. Floods, more heat waves, more cold waves, more increase in sea level, more forest fires, more increase in diseases. All these things are happening. Point number 2. So point number 1 is clear. Climate change means intensity and frequency of erratic weather systems increase. Why it has changed? Why climate has changed? Well, there is only one reason responsible for the climate. Only one reason. And what is that? Use of energy. Ever since we started using energy in the form of coal, oil, gas, this is happening. But energy is important in our life. Why? Because there is what is called SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, 17 of them. And in the center of each of these goals is energy. So energy affects everything, whether it is poverty, health, education, literacy, women empowerment, consumption, climate change, even global peace and partnership has something to do with energy. You know what is happening in Ukraine, something to do with energy, what happened in Iraq, something to do with energy. So energy is a very, very important aspect in our life. The problem is we have played a wrong game of energy. Very wrong. And this graph actually shows you why I am saying this. Till 1850, before 1850, we were all using renewable energy. We were using biomass or wind or hydro. Then 1850, what happened? We started to industrialize ourselves. What does it mean? We started using coal. Then 1900, we started using oil. And then 1950, we started using gas. But look at beyond this, how fast increase in energy consumption. And right now in 2023, as I'm talking to you, we are using coal, oil, gas, solar, wind, biomass, all kind of energy sources we are using. But the problem is, majority of these three, look at this pinker, blue and grey, this itself put together is about 85% of energy that we consume in the world today, 85%. So 85% energy comes from coal, oil and gas. So what's the problem if it comes from coal, oil and gas? Well, the problem is we don't have it. We don't have it. India spends a lot of money to import these fuels, 12 lakh crore rupees every single year, so we don't have money. And if you run short of money, what will happen? What happened to our neighboring countries, Sri Lanka, Pakistan? If they run short of foreign exchange, they were in trouble. So we will get in trouble if we run short of money. But bigger problem is that all these three coal, oil and gas is made out of carbon. And when we burn carbon, it results in this equation. Very simple, right? Everybody can understand. Carbon plus oxygen equal to carbon dioxide and energy. We use energy in doing things. Like we are using light here, AC here, so that is using energy. When you are eating food, you are using energy, isn't it? When you are wearing clothes, you are using energy. Why? Because making these clothes has taken a lot of energy in terms of growing cotton and irrigating and processing and ironing and all kind of. When you travel, you use energy. When you are using furniture, you are using energy. Why? Because this has taken energy to come to this shape. Somebody has grown, somebody has cut, metal has been, casted. So it takes a lot of energy. So we all, when we use things, we generate carbon dioxide. We are responsible for emitting carbon dioxide. Where we are emitting carbon dioxide? Where? In the atmosphere, right? We all emit carbon dioxide in the atmosphere as if it is your father's property. Atmosphere पिताजी का है, नानाजी का, चाचा का नहीं. हमको लगता है father's property, you can emit any amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. any amount of carbon dioxide. As a result of that, this is what is happening. The level of concentration of carbon dioxide is constant all thousands and thousands of years. Only when we started to industrialize ourselves, look where it is going. How fast it is increasing. Right now, as I am talking to you, there is 50% extra carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. 50%. Is this a big change in the atmosphere concentration of carbon dioxide, or a small change? Very big change. 50% extra. Your weight increases by 50%. Look what happens. Or it decreases 50%. What will happen? So big, very, very big change in the level of carbon dioxide. The problem is this carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. It is going to have greenhouse effect. What is greenhouse effect? Trapping of the heat. So this carbon dioxide is going to trap the heat for how many years? 300 years. 300 years. Once you use AC today, once you eat food today, once you are going to travel today, is going to impact on this planet for 300 years. What a disaster, what a crime that we all commit in our daily life by using energy so much. And because it's a greenhouse gas, it is heating up the planet, the temperature of the planet is increasing. This is how it is increasing. We started increasing, and then here the temperature is increasing. But look at the last 7-8 years, not only the yellow line, it is going beyond that. So the temperature of the planet is increasing, but it is increasing very fast. And that's why we say in the last 10 hottest year on the planet has come in last 15 years. Because of this, that is what is happening. So right now as I am talking to you, the planet temperature is higher by 1.19 degrees centigrade or 2.14 degrees Fahrenheit. Is this a small change in temperature or a big change in temperature? Very big, right? 2.14 degrees Fahrenheit. Human body temperature is how much? 97, 98 degrees Fahrenheit in terms of Fahrenheit. If the body temperature increases by 2 degrees, what happens? What we call it? Fever. The body has got the fever, right? Now, the planet's temperature is increased by 2 degrees. Can we say, planet has got the fever? Can we say that? Yes. My God, planet has got the fever. And when you get a fever, what you do? You take paracetamol, Dolo 650, everybody's favorite. Can we give Dolo 650 to our planet? We cannot, right? So that is the problem, that it's already fever, and when you get fever, you can't eat properly, you can't sleep properly, you can't work properly. The balance, the body loses balance. And similar to that, planet has also lost the balance. It cannot behave properly, isn't it? So there are floods and heat waves and cold, all kind of things are happening. So climate has changed because of carbon dioxide emission, extra carbon dioxide that is now we are throwing in the atmosphere. Is the point clear? Okay, let's come to the point number 3 then. Point number 1 was, what has changed? We have seen intensity and frequency. Why it has changed? Because of carbon dioxide emission. Who has changed it is the point number 3. And who has changed the climate? Humans, right? Whenever I ask this question, who has changed the climate? All intelligent, smart, educated people, what they say? Humans have done it. I have not done it. Then they correct themselves. They say we have done it. That is also not correct. You know why? Because when we say we, it is nobody's responsibility. But who is eating the food? It's you, individual. Who is enjoying the AC? It is you. Who is enjoying the chair right now? You. Who is wearing the clothes? It is you. So who has caused the climate change? Every individual who is using energy. And therefore, every individual, rich or poor doesn't matter, American or African doesn't matter. Every individual, by means of using energy in the form of food, electricity, travel, or indirectly in the form of clothes, building materials, road, furniture, we all are responsible for emitting carbon dioxide and therefore climate change. So what is the right answer? Who has changed the climate? It is I, right? In Panchatantra there is a story that says, once upon a time, there was a person sitting on a branch of a tree and cutting the same branch. What do you call such a person? Such type of person? Fool? Stupid? Isn't it? When I see, one side the GDP is increasing and other side nature is degrading. What is this nature? The same nature that nurtures our life. You cannot live without this nature. You cannot live without breathing more than a minute. You cannot live without drinking water more than 3-4 days. You cannot live without eating food more than 3-4 days. But can we say today that air, water and soil are good, are proper? No, everything is polluted, no? Ganga, once upon a time, when you used to go and take a dip in Ganga, सारे पाप धुल जाते थे, right? Now if you go and take a dip in Ganga, what will happen? 3-4 घर आ जाएंगे पाप, right? So the most basic thing that is required to sustain life on this planet, air, water and soil, has also been degraded to a great extent. So one side GDP increasing, nature is degrading. The question that comes to my mind is this a modernity or stupidity? Hello? Stupidity. Looks like a stupidity, right? And the next question is, who is stupid? Who is stupid? See? Say it loudly. So many, smart, smiling stupids are sitting here. But that's exactly the point of this yatra, to realize that it's a height of stupidity to pollute the same air that you are only going to breathe. Nobody else, not your products. You pollute the same water that you are only going to drink, and you pollute the same soil from which you are only going to eat the food. What a disaster! And that's all we have done it already, and we are doing it in greater and greater rate. So point number 3, only I am responsible, not the government, not the policy makers. I am the one who is consuming energy resources. Point number 4, when to correct it? When do you think we should correct it? Now? We should start now, right? The climate scientist says that we have to stop global warming at 1.5 degrees centigrade ideally, or maximum 2 degrees centigrade. Ideally 1.5 degree. Why? What is going to happen at 1.5 degrees centigrade? Will there be a sudden disaster and everybody will die? एक प्रलय आएगा, सब लोग मर जाएंगे, ऐसा होने वाला है 1.5 degree पे? Answer is no. Don't worry, nothing like this will happen. No disaster will come in. You know why? Because इतनी आसान मौत नहीं मिलने वाली. You will not die so easily. Nature will not kill you so easily. How does nature is going to kill us? Because of the climate change. Like in a movie, if there is a dangerous villain, how does the dangerous villain kill the hero? खतरनाक विलेन हीरो कैसे मारता है? तड़पा के. Right? How is nature going to kill us? तड़पा. जोर से बोलना चाहता है कि सबको याद है. How is nature going to kill us? तड़पा के. So what will happen at 1.5 degrees centigrade? The change in the climate will start to become irreversible, and by 2 degrees centigrade, entire change will be irreversible. What does it mean? Beyond that, beyond 2 degrees centigrade, if all human beings on this planet become sadhu sant and decide to do nothing, and if you all decide कि आज के बाद सिर्फ लंगोट पहन के जिएंगे, कुछ नहीं करेंगे धरती पे, still you will not be able to reverse the climate change. What does it mean? After that, more floods, more droughts, more heat waves, more cold waves, more increase in sea level rise, more forest fire, more diseases, decrease in food production yield. This is all going to become a normal part of life, and we are all going to suffer, and that's what is happening already, isn't it? Go and ask Pakistan, when 1/3 of Pakistan was flooded. Go and ask in UK when there was a forest fire everywhere in UK. What does it mean? Go and ask Saudi Arabia what does it mean to have floods and people dying. So this is all going to become a normal part. So we have to correct it right now. But the problem is, would you like to do something?
Yes.
Only one person, my God.
Yes.
Would you like to do something?
Yes.
Yes, very nice. The problem is we don't have time. Why? Because there is what is called carbon budget. The amount of carbon we can afford to emit before a global temperature of certain level, 1.5 degree or 2 degree. So there is a carbon budget. For 1.5 degrees centigrade, the carbon budget is 280 billion tons. For 2 degrees centigrade, the carbon budget is 1030 billion. It looks like a very big number, right? 280 billion tons carbon dioxide we can afford to emit. But the problem is this number. Can you all read this number? 14 lakh kilogram of carbon dioxide is emitted in the atmosphere every single second. 14 lakh kilogram. In how much time? 1 second. And how much is 1 second? 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. In this much time, 14 lakh kilogram carbon dioxide gets emitted in the atmosphere. 14 lakh kilogram, 1 second. So ये number को ये divide करेंगे दूसरे से, you'll get how much time is left. And you'll be surprised to know that there is what is called climate clock. And as per the climate clock, the time left is 6 years and 182 days as of 21st January. We are in March now. As of today, 6 years in 124 days. Only before we touch 1.5 degree. So shall I say congratulations to all of you? बधाई हो, इतना बढ़िया problem है for all of us. So we need to take a action, and why? Let's come to the point number 4. So point number 5. Point number 4 is clear. We have to correct it right now. We need to take an action. How to take an action is very important. And this is where the most people in the world have no idea how to do it. Most people. And I have been traveling all over the world. I can tell you that all over the world, people are trying to do something, right? What we are trying to do? Paris Agreement, COP meetings, NGOs, policy making, solar energy, all kind of things are happening. So is climate change slowing down? No. Is climate change stopped? No. Is climate change is accelerating? Yes. So what does it mean? We do not know how to correct, because everybody is doing something and this and that, but we do not know how to correct it, and we have to correct it because there is no planet B. And you are not rich like Elon Musk that you will leave this planet and go to some other planet. पैसे भी नहीं तुम्हारे पास, सब गरीब लोग हैं अधिकतर. कुछ ही लोग इसको planet को छोड़ के भाग सकते हैं, right? So this is the only planet. So better you correct it here only. How to correct it? Well, IPCC, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, says we need drastic and immediate change in what? Energy use pattern. Why? Because the problem is caused because of energy. If somebody gets a cancer, can you treat the cancer by taking paracetamol? No. If somebody gets a cancer, you have to treat the cancer by removing the cause, root cause, that is the cancer cell. So you have to do chemotherapy. You can't take it paracetamol and you can correct the cancer, right? Similarly, climate has changed. Climate has changed because of what? Carbon dioxide emission. So that is source of energy. Because of the energy we have carbon dioxide emission. So if you want to correct it, you need to change energy use pattern. Is that clear? You have to change energy use pattern, but the manner you change is even more important. How? Two conditions: drastically and immediately. Have you come across any country, any institution, any individual who is making drastic changes in energy? Anybody? No. Immediate changes in energy? No. Oh, business as usual chalta rehta hai. As a result, climate change is not stopping, rather than it is accelerating. IPCC, this is the words of IPCC. IPCC is the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, one of the most credible body in the world, having 190 plus countries as members. It is their recommendation, drastic and immediate change. Nobody is doing it. How do we do it? And can we really do it? Well, there is a problem. We all are living in a full contradiction. Modern humans are full of contradiction, and when I am traveling all over the country, I see even bigger contradiction. Why? First contradiction, for example, we want growth, right? Everybody wants growth. And growth needs what? Energy. And energy, 85% comes from coal, oil and gas, which is going to result in carbon dioxide emission, which is going to cause climate change. So if you want growth, you will also get climate change. But what we want? We want to growth, we want to solve the problem of energy. These are opposite requirements. One side you need to increase in energy supply, other side you need to decrease in energy supply. कैसे करेंगे? Should we increase or should we decrease? This is a contradiction, right? Let me share another contradiction that I see, that everybody who is busy in modern world is using a lot of energy, is correct? Right? Everybody who is busy uses a lot of energy. And because he is busy and use a lot of energy also means that he is educated or she is educated, most likely. So he or she understands that there is a climate change. But that busy person cannot do anything for correcting the climate change. You know why? Because he is busy. So all busy people who are making decisions in this institute are not here. They should be here. They are doing something. So look at the contradiction. Everybody is busy, contributes more to the climate change, but they cannot do anything to solve it because they are busy. How? See the problem. We all want growth, but growth is going to result in climate change itself. Because growth means more energy, means more consumption, means more production, and more climate change. How how do I solve it? And I keep saying that if anyone solves this equation, ensure that there's a growth without affecting climate change, should not get just 1 or 2 Nobel Prize, yes, he should get 8 to 10 Nobel Prizes. इतना बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है because ये मनुष्य जीवन के अस्तित्व की सवाल है. It's not a small thing. Human existence बचेगा कि नहीं वो वही प्रश्न है. इसलिए 8-10 नोबेल प्राइज मिलना चाहिए. आप में से किसी को नोबेल प्राइज चाहिए? No? Oh my God, nobody wants a Nobel Prize. No Nobel Prize. If anybody anyway, लाइफ में कभी ऐसा लगे कि अभी मैं बहुत हो गया जीवन में कुछ अच्छा काम करना, नोबेल मिलना चाहिए, ये करना. क्या करना? Ensure that there is a growth without affecting climate. That is what the billion problem is. Nobody knows how to do it. आज तक तो कोई ऐसा नहीं जो ये बता सकती कि कैसे करना है. Growth भी मिल रहा है, climate change भी मिल रहा है. I think I have a solution. Let's see. और मेरा solution काम करेगा तो I will get some 8-10 Nobel prizes, right? Well, let's see. Drastic and immediate change in energy is required. According to me, what we need to do is we need to switch to solar energy 100%, not 99%. How much? 100%. 99 भी नहीं. How do we switch? Drastically. अच्छा, how do we switch? By surrendering electricity connection. बिजली कनेक्शन छोड़ के. सिर्फ सोलर पे नहीं जाना है. बिजली कनेक्शन छोड़ के सोलर पे जाना है. ये very important to understand. So if we all surrender our connection and go to solar, will that be a drastic change? Yes, that's a drastic change. When should we do this? Immediately. समझ आया? So when you go home today, you know, write a love letter. To whom? No, write a love letter to BMC. Dear Electricity Board. BMC है ना? Electricity Board है ना? Write a BMC. Dear Electricity Board. So far I have been taking electricity from you. Now finally my eyes are opened. And I have decided to generate my own electricity, and therefore I do not need your electricity connection. Please take your connection back. Thank you very much, yours truly. Will you all write such a letter? But that's what is required. Surrender your connection. If not today, this month. If not this month, this year. If not this year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. As soon as possible, switch your life to 100% solar energy. That's the only way. There is no choice. It's a compulsion of modern world. Switching to solar energy 100%. How many of you are using solar energy right now? Let me see. I got nobody. That's the problem. How many of you are eating food every day? Eating food every day. Sumitra has doubt whether she eats food every day or not. Now you are telling me. Okay. Can we grow food without using solar energy? Is it possible? No. Solar energy is required to grow food. And if you are eating food means you are using solar energy. Yes or no? Okay. How many of you are breathing all the time? Breathing. No doubt, right? You are breathing, right? Can we produce oxygen without using solar energy? नहीं. Photosynthesis के लिए solar चाहिए. उससे photosynthesis oxygen होगा. Then only you can breathe. So if you are breathing means you are using solar energy. Yes or no? How many of you are drinking water every day? There is no water cycle without solar energy. Water will not evaporate. The cycle will not happen. Rain will not happen if there is no solar energy, right? So what does it mean? If you are eating food, if you are breathing, if you are drinking water, you are using solar energy. Let me ask once again. How many of you are using solar energy? Okay. What a revelation in your life, right? Finally you realize that you are using solar energy. बहुत सारे लोग बेचारे बिना जाने ही मर जाते हैं. उनको जीवन भर पता नहीं चलता कि वो सोलर एनर्जी के कारण उनका अस्तित्व था. Yes or no? We exist because of solar energy. But look at this modern world. It doesn't even know that it uses solar. कितनी बड़ी disconnect है, right? कितना बड़ा disconnect है. जिससे तुम्हारा जीवन का केंद्र है, जिसका अस्तित्व है सोलर एनर्जी का, उसको पता ही नहीं. तुमको लगता है पैनल को यूज किया तो ही सोलर एनर्जी को यूज किया. What a disaster. What a disaster. And we call ourselves modern. And I keep saying wherever I go, I keep saying the modern humans are the most stupid animal ever existed on this planet. इससे बड़ा मूर्ख प्राणी नहीं हो सकता धरती पर, जो उसी हवा को खराब करता है, जो खुद ब्रीथ करता है, जिसको ये भी नहीं पता कि वो सोलर एनर्जी का उपयोग करता है. What a disaster. And that's why there is a problem in this world. So we are all using solar energy already. So what's the great thing if my fan runs on solar? तो बहुत महान काम है, नहीं? What is the great thing if my lights runs on solar, if I cook food on solar? No, that has to be the most normal thing. and that is what we need to do it. But be careful, you know. Why? Because the modern humans are expert in what? Solving one problem and creating. देखो सबको पता है, ये बोलने की जरूरत ही नहीं है, सब एक्सपर्ट है मॉडर्न में, सब लोग एक्सपर्ट है। क्या करते हैं? एक प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करो, दूसरे खड़े करो, एक प्रॉब्लम दूसरे खड़े करो। अच्छा पहले ऐसा करते थे, अभी हम मॉडर्न हो गए ना, तो हम क्या करते हैं? एक प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करते हैं और चार चार नहीं खड़े करते। पानी खराब, हवा खराब, मिट्टी खराब, संबंध खराब, डिप्रेशन, स्ट्रेस, जियोपॉलिटिकल, ये उधर युद्ध चल रहा है, ये सब उल्टा सीधा। Because the energy that we are using, or the way we are using, is actually not correct. So I have made two rules. Solanki's fundamental laws of human existence, है बहुत बड़ी बात है। Fundamental law किसको बोलते हैं? जिसको you cannot avoid. For example, Newton's law. Every action has a reaction. सुना है सबने? हाँ? You can't say कि I don't like Newton, I hate Newton, I'm not going to follow this law. Can you say that? No. It's fundamental in nature, whether you like or not, it is applicable to you. Similarly, Solanki's law. तुमको प्रोसेस सोलंकी पसंद हो कि नहीं पसंद, ये नियम तुम पे लगते हैं, तुम पालन करोगे तो बचोगे, नहीं करोगे तो, ये ह्यूमन एग्जिस्टेंस के नियम है, मनुष्य जीवन के अस्तित्व के नियम, छोटी मोटी बात नहीं है। एंड गोरखड़े जी IIT में कहीं पे लिखवा देना चाहिए कि प्रोफेसर सोलंकी ने ऐसा कहा था, मनुष्य प्रजाति नहीं बचेगी यदि नियम का पालन नहीं। क्या नियम है? नंबर 1, लिमिट योर कंजम्पशन। In an ecosystem of finite resources, there has to be finite consumption. Has to be. सब तो finite है। गांधी जी बोलते थे ना, There's enough in the world for everyone's need, not for anyone's greed, right? क्यों कहा था गांधी जी ने 100 साल पहले? दिमाग खराब हो गया था गांधी जी का, वो सबकी नीड पूरी हो सकती, ग्रीड नहीं हो सकते, ऐसे बोल दिया था। No, there's a very very strong deep message, and that message is in line with the nature. Planet size is fixed, right? If population double हो जाए, triple हो जाए, can we increase the size of our planet? बढ़ा कर सकते हैं खींचतान की? No. पानी बढ़ा सकते हैं, मिट्टी बढ़ा सकते हैं, कुछ नहीं बढ़ा सकते। So everything is fixed. But ये modern humans को क्या लगता है? नहीं, प्रोडक्शन बढ़ना चाहिए, कंजम्पशन बढ़ना चाहिए, GDP बढ़ना चाहिए, ग्रोथ होना चाहिए। Is that possible really? No, it is not possible. You can't do this because जिससे हम डिराइव करते हो खुद ही फिक्स है। जब तुम्हारी सैलरी फिक्स हो तो एक्सपेंसेस के कैसे होना चाहिए? खर्चे फिक्स होना चाहिए। तो धरती फिक्स है ना, धरती बढ़ नहीं रही तो प्रोडक्शन कंजम्पशन फिक्स होना चाहिए। But we are continuously trying to produce more and consume more. Not possible. Then somebody asked me, sir, you are saying not possible, but we are growing every year, 6%, 7%, 5%. कैसे होता है ग्रोथ? कैसे होता है? एक तरीके से होता है। There's only one way to grow, that is by stealing things. चोरी करके। आप लोग चोरी करते हैं? हेलो? कितने लोग चोरी करते हैं? चोर है? ना चोरी करना किसको बोलते हैं? ना when I take 100 rupees from someone and give it back, क्या बोलते हैं? borrow किया था, right? But when we take 100 rupees from someone and never give it back, तो क्या हुआ? चोरी, बदमाशी, गबन। हम modern humans क्या करते हैं? With science and technology, we learn how to steal things. For example, the classical example is tube well technology. Tube well पता है सबको? So with the tube well, we have learned how to take water from underground. Have you learned how to put water back? No. Is the water table going down in the country? Yes. So can we say we are stealing water? नहीं, चोरी करते हैं। और जो चोरी करता है उसको क्या बोलते हैं? चोर, right? और चोर कौन है? चोर कौन है? Humans नहीं। आए, हाँ, humans कहाँ से गए? तो पानी तो तुम पीते हो ना, तुम निकालते हो। So please don't do this. Limit your consumption. Everything that we consume, air, soil, water, clothes, house, furniture. Limit. And second thing is localize your production. Why do we localize your production? Because whenever we centralize production, it results in unequal distribution. Unequal distribution means increasing inequity in the world. असमानता बढ़ रही है. And increasing inequity also means lack of peace and violence in the world. In last 30-40 years, science is growing, technology is growing, economy is growing. Is brotherhood also growing? No. Is love between people growing? No. Is the violence growing? Yes. See? Because of this, we are centralizing production. No. What actually required is we need to decentralize production. We need to localize production. Gandhi ji also said, not the mass production, production by masses is required. not the mass production, production by masses. And that's why these two rules is applicable to everyone. Limit your consumption, localize your production. If you are not going to follow this two, or if you are going to fail in any one of this, my guarantee is that human life cannot survive on this planet. धरती पे मनुष्य प्रजाति नहीं रह सकती यदि ये दोनों में से किसी भी नियम का उल्लंघन किया जाए. Is the point clear? Limit your consumption and localize the production. That is how we have to do it, right? How? Limiting and localizing. The last point is what an individual can do. What you and I can do. That's very, very important to understand. Because as I said, who has created the problem? I have created. So I have to do something, right? Not the government, not the industry. And what I have to do? Solve the problem of energy. The basic problem itself is energy. We need to be energy sustainable, energy access has to be given, energy security for the country. So we need to rethink and redesign our energy system. Rethink and redesign. How we consume energy, how we produce energy, that has to be rethought again. Completely. Chota mota that tweaking is not going to work. Rethink and redesign and switch to solar energy. How? 100% and this 3-step, AMG I call it. Avoid, minimize and generate. We need to switch to solar. There is no choice. Sooner or later you have to do it. But how you have to do it? Follow these 3 steps. Avoid, minimize and generate. What is this 3 step? First step is avoid the use of energy as much as possible, even if it is solar energy. Solar energy का उपयोग भी avoid करना चाहिए, you know. And I am a professor of solar energy and brand ambassador of solar energy. My job is to promote solar energy. What I am saying, the first rule of using solar energy is don't use solar energy, because solar energy itself has an impact. When you manufacture solar panels and solar cells and structures and electronics, it has an impact. It is much better than the coal electricity, but it is not zero. It has an impact. Getting it? Anything you manufacture will have impact. You have to process, you have to use chemicals, you have to use energy, you have to recycle. कुछ भी manufacturing करेंगे, there is always going to be a side effect. It may be less but not zero. And therefore, what we say, prevention is better than cure. So using solar energy is like prevention, but not using any energy is prevention. So therefore, best thing you can do is avoid the use of energy, even if it is solar energy, if possible. जहाँ तक हो सकता. For example, what can we avoid? I have stopped ironing my clothes. All of us can do that. It takes a lot of energy. Can we all do this? If everybody starts doing it, that becomes a normal. इतने सारे lights है, right? More than people, there are lights on this hall. जरूरत है? No, it's avoidable. इसमें से 50% lights, even if I switch off, nothing will happen. So that is what you can avoid. You know, use fans. Some of them can be avoided. What else can be avoided? In my home, there is no refrigerator, there is no geyser, there is no air conditioner. You can avoid it. And can we live without refrigerator? Okay, because you know, if we use refrigerator for one day, it results in 1 unit of electricity consumption. You don't have geyser because taking one good bath with the hot water is 1 unit of electricity consumption. 1 hour of AC is 1 unit of electricity consumption, and 1 unit of electricity consumption results in approximately 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide emission. And 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide is going to remain in the atmosphere for how many years? 300 years. तो एक दिन फ्रिज का उपयोग करने का जो सुख है, कंफर्ट है, that is going to cause discomfort for how many years? 300 years for somebody else. What a disaster! That we do something and my 300 years, 10 generations are going to suffer. That's why it is best thing to avoid. Prevention is better than cure. Is that clear? If you cannot avoid, step number 2, minimize the use of energy as much as possible, even if it is solar energy with an efficient appliance. Very efficient appliances are available, like LEDs are very efficient, BLDC fans are very efficient, 5-star rated refrigerator are very efficient. So use efficient appliances, you can reduce your energy needs by another 1/3. So avoid, if it's not possible to avoid, minimize. If it is not possible to minimize beyond certain range, then the last step number 3 is generate. How much? Only 1/3. Where? Locally. Generate locally, wherever you are. Generate wherever you are. Not, make a power plant 500 kilometers and then put all lines and wires and bring it. Generate locally 1/3. And therefore the rule that you need to follow is AMG. We all remember this? A means avoid. M means minimize. And G means generate. How much? 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Follow MG rule. And if you are not going to follow MG, you will have to say OMG. Oh my God, solar energy is expensive. Oh my God, rooftop space is not there. Policies are not there. Subsidies are not there. All kind of things are going to be there. And that's whole idea of energy Swaraj. When you follow MG rule and switch to solar energy 100%, then it becomes energy Swaraj or energy by local for local or energy Atmanirbharta, energy independence. And in 2019, when we presented this idea to IEEE global competition, we were winner at the national level, Asia level, and finally in the global round there were 3 teams from each continent, 21 teams, and we have beaten all the teams, and we were winner at the global level. So we got a prize money of $100,000 and we have donated that money and created this Energy Swaraj Foundation. I also believe very strongly that it is impossible for any governments to solve this problem. Governments alone cannot solve this problem. Why? Because governments all over the world are elected for a very short time, 4 years, 5 years. They have limited time, limited resources. Every individual is contributing to the problem. Therefore, every individual should be the part of the solution. Then only there will be a public movement. When each one of you start taking pride in saying that I do not have electricity connection at home, then it becomes a public movement. When you and I start taking pride in saying that when you and I say that I am leading a low energy life, मैं कम से कम energy में अपना life चला, that should be a matter of pride. Then it becomes a public movement. मेरे घर में फ्रिज नहीं है, AC नहीं है, रेफ्रिजरेटर नहीं है, मैं कपड़े प्रेस नहीं करते, but how do we make it as a fashion that everybody does that? You know, I have 2 daughters and we have decided that whenever my daughters will get married, in their marriage function, I am going to invite only those guests who come without ironing their clothes. So let's create this as a fashion. जो बड़ी गाड़ी में आता है वो अच्छा आदमी नहीं, कम अच्छा है. जो छोटी गाड़ी में आता है वो ज्यादा अच्छा आदमी, जो साइकिल चलता है और अच्छा आदमी, जो पैदल चलता है उससे भी अच्छा. That has to become the norm. You have to change the norm. Then only it will become movement. And without movement, we will not be able to solve the problem. Everybody has to be part of the solution. And there are many things that you can do. One is energy literacy. That we can all become energy literate because it's a energy that has created a problem. And you can see on my shirt, I am energy literate, and everybody has to be energy literate. On this portal, es-pal.org, you can go and register as an individual or as an organization, and you can promote energy literacy among yourself, among your family members, or even in your organization. We are also making a climate clock. On 22nd April, you can take part in the climate clock assembly also. Well, I invite you all to join this movement, Energy Swaraj movement. You can use this website and use this hashtag whenever you do something right on social media. If you want more details about the idea of Energy Swaraj, you can read this book that I have written with the subtitle My Experiments with Solar Truth. So how solar energy should be used itself is a very important question mark. So at the end, I would like to summarize it. And before summarizing, I will not going to do myself. I'm going to take your help. You know, I'm a professor, and professors are good in taking exams. So I have created a small question paper here. All of you need to solve it. What you need to do is there are filling the blanks, and you need to fill the blanks. Are you all ready?
Yes.
Okay. Here's the first one. Climate is not changing, climate has already changed. And we can all feel it and experience it that it has changed. Okay, very nice. Number 2. Who has caused the climate change? I have done it because I am the one who is using energy and materials. So I have caused the climate change.
I have one question on this.
I'll come to it, just finish with the okay? And number 3. Who will be the solution? I will be the solution because I have caused the change. And at the end, let me give you the last number, that if we are not going to take action right now, by the end of this century, by 2100, the global temperature will rise to 2.8 degree to 6 degrees centigrade above normal. Right now it is only 1.1, and look at the problem that the world is kind of disaster it is facing. What will happen if it is 2.83 degree, 4 degree, 5 degree. There's already big question mark whether the human life can survive when temperatures are so high or not. If you are going to survive, how many of us will survive? In what shape and size people are going to survive? So let us take action right now. Otherwise, we say that once upon a time there were dinosaurs on this planet. They are not there anymore. They disappeared because of the climate change. It may happen that 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 years later, a new species will appear on this planet. And what they will say? Once upon a time there were humans on the planet. Oh my God. What are we talking in this beautiful evening? But our experience, our data, our science suggests that we are heading into that direction. So before it becomes too late, let us start taking action right now. So with this note, thank you very much for being here, and I wish that everybody who uses energy should understand this. People who are busy should understand it even more, and with your help, you'll be able to spread this across. So thank you very much. Thanks to all people also who are online and listening to me. Thank you so much for being there, and if there are questions, we can discuss it now.
Sir, what we call those who doesn't even have a house to stay. Those workers who stay on a floor. So they are not using and they are not directly causing any climate change.
Yes, correct.
So, but we are
Well, I mean, so see, yeah, because when they, so first of all, it is correct that those who are sleeping on the road, they are not using energy as much as we are doing it. In a way, they are also using some energy, little, much less, and that will be insignificant as compared to people who are actually living in AC. And that's why my yatra doesn't go to villages. Many people feel that my yatra will go to all villages. No, I go to only places where spoiled people are living. All spoiled people are found in urban areas. सारे बिगड़े हुए लोग शहरों में ही पाए जाते हैं, तो मैं शहरों में जाता हूँ.
So it is the same like developed countries create more climate change compared to us.
Yes, so developed countries create more climate change, but we cannot get into this argument. किसने किया है, उसने वो ज़्यादा किया, तुम ठीक करो पहले, तो मैं बाद में करूँगा. I'm not developed enough. I think we are in a time when time left is only 6 years and 7 years. We cannot make this argument. The developed countries have done more, so I will do less and I will take care of it later. No. I think we can use this challenge as an opportunity. Let us be more robust system. Right now, there is everybody's dependence on oil. If there's something happens in Russia, everybody gets affected. But if we develop a system for energy where we locally generate and fulfill, then we are going to be independent. And that is going to be more powerful. So the idea of energy Swaraj is very powerful. And every country needs to adopt to energy Swaraj. Not only India, whether America, Africa, China, Japan, everybody has to adopt to energy Swaraj. Okay, any other question?
Will we get a chance to visit the bus?
Yeah, you can. You are all most welcome to visit my bus. It is parked near Kendriya Vidyalaya ground, and today evening you can do that. Most welcome. It is also going to be there tomorrow. All right.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.